Romans 13:11 says, "And do this because we know the time that it is already the hour for us to awake from sleep, for our salvation is now nearer than when we became believers." Paul is telling us what the time is. It's time to awake from sleep. And there are so many things that can lull us into sleep, into a sense of complacency, into a sense of not recognizing the urgency of the time, not recognizing the level of soberness and carefulness and care with which you should live your life, with which you should please God, with which you should serve God, which you should move away from things that smell like sin and all that. It's saying, wake up from sleep. Wake up from sleep. Be aware. Be conscious. And be aware of what the enemy wants to do to get you to sin against God. Sometimes false teachings lull us into sleep by making us pay attention to what is not necessary. If you have preaching coming to you that Christianity is not about money, that is the kind of message that will lull you to sleep. If you have messages that seems to imply that a Christian can live a life of sin and it's going to be okay, that is something that can lull you into sleep. So we have false teaching that can lull you into sleep. Let's say you have this false idea that you are okay, that you are special, you are more special than everybody else. So you think that God is going to give you a pass if you do some things. You have been lulled to sleep. You're not going to take the right caution. You're not going to repent for what you're supposed to repent of. You're going to be lulled to sleep because of these false teachings. We need to be aware. We need to be conscious of their power to lull us to sleep, to make us think that we are somehow okay when we're not okay. Jesus Christ wrote to a church in the book of Revelation and told them, you think you are okay. You say I'm rich, you say I have all things, but no, you say you are poor. You see, this verse, Romans 13:11, reaching to believers, it said, it's the hour for us to awake from sleep, for our salvation is now nearer than when we become believers. False teachings particularly can lull us into sleep, and a famous picture of sleeping while there is such urgency is in the Garden of Gethsemane when Jesus Christ was in agony and praying, and he was going to be arrested. And we have his main apostles, they were sleeping, and he tells them, wash and pray that you will not fall into temptation. So we have a call to all to wash and pray. And Paul himself said, I don't want to be this person that after preaching to others, I will be a castaway. And somewhere else, John wrote that we need to put in mind that Christ is coming back. But that's what Paul is talking about. Our salvation is nearer than when we became believers. The Christ is coming up with that understanding that should move us to live a life of holiness, so that when Christ appears, we will not shrink back in shame, but will be bold because we'll be living for him. It is already the hour for us to wake from sleep. God bless you. See you later.